Do you ever wonder how changes in immigration policies can impact your plans to move to Canada? If you're considering moving to this beautiful country, recent shifts in immigration rules might affect your journey. In today's video, we're diving into the latest updates on Canada's immigration policies, focusing on new measures to limit temporary residence and how these changes might impact you. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Moving to Canada. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with the latest news and insights about moving and settling in Canada. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description below for free resources and guides that can help you on your journey to Canada. Now let's get into today's topic. Recently, Canadian immigration policies have been making headlines with significant changes that could affect your plans if you're considering moving to Canada or already in the process. The Canadian government, under the leadership of Immigration Minister Marc Miller, is preparing to roll out new measures aimed at reducing the number of temporary residents in the country. This marks a major shift from the more open policies of the past. The key takeaway here is that Canada is moving towards a more controlled approach to temporary immigration. This shift comes in response to various challenges, including rising public concern about housing and affordability issues, that some attribute to the increasing number of temporary residents. In a recent interview, Marc Miller emphasized that the era of unlimited temporary immigration is coming to an end. He mentioned that while the government is planning to implement these new measures, it's crucial to understand that such significant changes can't be executed overnight. Over the past year, the landscape of Canadian immigration has shifted. Canada has long been known for its welcoming stance towards newcomers, and this has been particularly evident in the increase in temporary residents, especially as employers sought to fill vacancies following the pandemic. However, this influx has led to growing concerns about its impact on housing and the overall affordability of living in Canada. Public sentiment is shifting, with a recent Ledger poll showing that a significant portion of Canadians, 60%, believe there are too many immigrants coming into the country. Marc Miller acknowledged this shift in sentiment and recognized that Canada isn't immune to waves of anti-immigrant sentiment. He noted that Canadians want an immigration system that not only remains welcoming but also makes sense and is manageable. This sentiment is expected to be a major issue in the next federal election, which is slated for late 2025. In response to these concerns, the Canadian government has already started implementing changes. For instance, in January, they introduced a 2-year cap on international students. This move was designed to address the issue of international student numbers getting out of control and being used as a backdoor entry into Canada. Following this, in March, the government announced its first-ever cap on temporary immigration. The goal is to reduce the number of temporary residents to 5% of the total population over the next 3 years, down from 6.2% in 2023. This reduction represents a cut of about 20% from the 2.5 million temporary residents in Canada last year. However, achieving this goal won't be easy. The Bank of Canada has expressed doubts about the feasibility of meeting the new target, noting that non-permanent residents made up 6.8% of the population as of April, and that this share is expected to continue rising in the near term. Despite these challenges, Marc Miller remains optimistic and believes that the government's upcoming measures, which could include changes to postgraduate work permits and enforcement strategies, are reasonable steps towards reaching the target. Another critical issue currently facing Canada is the record number of refugee claims. In June alone, Canada saw more than 18,000 refugee claims. The government has tried to address this by closing the land border to asylum seekers through a bilateral agreement with the United States and implementing new visa requirements for Mexican nationals. Despite these efforts, the number of refugee claims remains high. To manage this situation, the government may impose stricter criteria on temporary resident visas to prevent asylum seekers from entering the country. It's important to note that the government had previously considered a regularization program to provide status to undocumented residents. However, this program is not on the table before the upcoming election. While there might be sector-specific programs in the future, no broad regularization plans are currently being pursued. So what does all this mean for you? If you're planning to move to Canada or are already navigating the immigration process, it's crucial to stay informed about these changes. Understanding the new policies and how they might affect your application can help you better prepare and make informed decisions about your move. Before we wrap up, make sure to check out the links in the description for valuable resources and guides that can assist you in your journey to Canada. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're here to provide you with the latest information and tips to make your move to Canada as smooth as possible. Thank you so much for watching.